Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Philosophy Beast. I post interesting videos about philosophy, psychology, and literature. If you want to explore the fun and interesting aspects of philosophy, then do please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Philosophy is to be studied not for sake of any definite answers to its questions, since no definite answers can, as a rule, known to be true, but rather for sake of questions themselves, because these questions enlarge our conception of what is possible, enrich our intellectual imagination, diminish the dogmatic assurance which closes the mind against speculation. Bertrand Russell. Philosophy is all about questions, problems, and doubts. It is not really interested in answers and solutions more than it is interested in creating new problems and posing new questions. But that is not an unnatural thing, because being human means to be always solving new problems and creating new ones. Life itself throws new problems at us every day. So, solving problems, thinking about solutions, and creating new questions and problems is what makes us human and also a philosopher. So, in a way, we are all philosophers. Imagine a life without any single problem. It would eventually bore us to death. In this video, I have come up with some very ancient and some modern philosophical problems and riddles that are not yet solved. First, I will tell you the problem and then discuss it a little further. If you have solution to any of these problems, do let me know in the comment section. Alright, so our first problem is known as Protagoras problem. It goes like this. There are two persons, one teacher and a student, Protagoras, a famous sophist, and his student Euthylos. They have a very peculiar arrangement that Euthylos will learn how to debate like a lawyer, but he won't pay the tuition fee until and unless he wins his first case. To Protagoras' annoyance, having completed his studies from Protagoras, Euthylos decided to be a musician instead of a lawyer. Protagoras, after not being able to get his money, decided to sue Euthylos in court. Protagoras reasoned that if Euthylos wins the case, then he would get paid because Euthylos had an agreement to pay Protagoras after winning his first case. But if Protagoras wins the case, then he would still get paid because he sued Euthylos for that. Either way, Protagoras gets his money. Meanwhile, Euthylos thinks a little differently. He argues if he loses the case, he won't pay Protagoras because he lost his first case. If he wins the case, then still he won't pay Protagoras. Either way, Euthylos doesn't pay to Protagoras. This seems wrong and right at the same time. Can they both be right? Who do you think is mistaken? Well, let's discuss this further. The story of Protagoras and Euthylos and their dilemma appears in the book Attic Nights, authored by Gellius. He concludes this story as jurors, thinking the plea on both sides was uncertain and insoluble, for fear that their decision, for whichever side it was rendered, might annul itself, left the matter undecided and postponed it to a distant day. Thus, a celebrated master of oratory, Protagoras, was refuted by his youthful pupil with his own argument, and his cleverly devised sophism failed. This paradox has intrigued philosophers and lawyers for centuries. Even until now, no satisfactory solution has been provided by anyone. Let's come to our second problem. Society of useless information. Society of useless information faces a problem that ever since its birth there has been a flood of applicants from all sides. To solve this issue, society establishes a rule that before joining the society, all aspiring members will have to give one piece of information that is completely useless. Fast forward 12 years, there has not been a single new member after the decision of the rule. What could have been wrong? Well, the problem is that any useless information that is told in order to get membership is not so useless after all. It has still one use, that of attaining the membership in the society. Third problem: hairdresser of Hindu Kush. There was a town called Hindu Kush, rulers of which were very thoughtful of the appearance of townspeople. They issued an order to the one and only hairdresser of the town to cut the hair of all people, charging 1 piece of silver each. Anyone in the town found to be having messy hair after 6 months will lose his head. In addition to that, no amateur barber was allowed to cut hair. No one can cut the hair of his friend. No one can cut his own hair. Anyone found to be doing so will lose both of his hands. The hairdresser of the town was very happy because he thought he will be making good money. All day he kept cutting hair, but when the night fell, a thought struck him and he escaped the town. Why do you think he did so? The thought that struck the hairdresser was that according to the rules, he would be the only one left in the town with messy hair, no matter what he does. This paradox is known as Barber's paradox. Ever since Bertrand Russell came up with this paradox in early 20th century, it has horrified philosophers. Russell himself was so much petrified by this paradox that he noted in his autobiography that after this paradox, all of his life's work seems to be shattered to pieces. He further wrote that for many days he could barely sleep and eat. He sent this paradox to his colleague mathematician Gottlob Frege, who replied, "Arithmetic trembles." Even until now, this paradox has not been solved by anyone. Many have tried to give solutions, but none to the satisfaction of philosophers. Come to our fourth philosophical problem now. Though space, universe, and time and questions related to these things are now studied by science, but for centuries they have been part of philosophy. From Aristotle to Kant, philosophers have thought about space and time and the nature of universe. The fourth problem is related with the universe. We know that Earth is in solar system. The solar system is in the Milky Way galaxy. This galaxy is part of other galaxies. Together they form a group, and there are so many other groups of galaxies in the universe. But what is the universe itself in? If all the solid are in space and the space is in universe, then where is the universe itself in? Alright, let's come to our last and the fifth problem. This is known as Zeno's paradox. You all must have heard about Zeno's famous paradox of tortoise and Achilles. It goes like this. There is a tortoise a short distance away from Achilles. Zeno says that Achilles can never get ahead of the tortoise no matter how fast he is. Because to cover this distance till the point where the tortoise is, Achilles has to cover the half distance. To cover the half distance, he has to cover the half of the half, and so on ad infinitum. Since he cannot cover infinite pieces of distance, he can never catch up to the tortoise. It seems a bit odd because in real life Achilles definitely will. We can count on him. But there seems to be no issue with the logic and reasoning of the paradox as well. So what is wrong with it? Well, the problem with this logic and reasoning is that it sees reality in bits and pieces. We all do. Though it is very convenient and beneficial to divide things into bits and pieces to understand them more clearly, but reality doesn't come in bits and pieces. It comes as a whole, and it is always dynamic. That is what Zeno, after making human logic fall on its head, wants us to see in this paradox.